And welcome back to Inside the 20 by 20, episode 3. Let's kick it off with our recap of Monday Night Raw. Another sold out Monday Night Raw from Columbus, Ohio, the Schottenstein Center. 9,385 in attendance for this Monday Night Raw. Advertised the big battle royal to crown a new women's world heavyweight champion. As you guys remember last week, Rhea Ripley had to give up her title. But we started off with Jey Uso hitting the ring for a promo, who was quickly interrupted by Damian Priest. What do you guys, anything on this promo? It was kind of funny, a little back and forth there between Priest and Uso.
I'm kind of happy that they're finally establishing some sort of base for their feud that should be going. That should have been, I think, should have been probably established a little bit earlier than that.
Yeah.
I mean, he just won the belt. They did the
listen,
four-way number one contenders match, and then there you go. Like there wasn't much room before Backlash.
They could have done something at the end of the night. I don't know. For me, it's like it's.
Listen, this is just a placeholder until they get to the next pay-per-view.
You think Priest is gonna win?
Hell yeah, Priest is gonna win.
Priest is not gonna win.
Are you out of your mind?
Jey Uso is gonna win this, hands down.
Okay.
Wow.
Did you see Jey Uso's match at WrestleMania?
Yikes.
The worst match at WrestleMania.
Did you see Damian Priest's match at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I did. He had a hell of a tag team match, and he had a hell of a cash-in.
Yeah, he lost the tag team match, and he just happened to win the cash-in.
Well, if he would have lost the cash-in, that would have been devastating for his character.
Semantics.
The only reason Damian Priest is the leader of the Judgment Day is because Mommy got hurt. That's line. True. That's a great line.
That is a good line. I firmly believe it.
And then he called him.
The Judgment Day has no leader.
And then he called him Dom's.
They established that a long time ago.
Dom's female dog. Dom's
beep. Dom's beep.
JD McDonough tries to sneak attack Uso, but he gets away and ends up leveling Priest instead. And that is how this segment ends, with Uso departing to an ovation.
I don't. JD McDonough does not belong in the Judgment Day.
JD McDonough, I think the Judgment Day is done, man. The Judgment Day is done. I did like the line that Priest said when he said, "You're just the first on a list of people the machine is going to feed me." So that was a good line. That was a pretty good line too.
That's a good line.
Next, we had the Awesome Truth defeating DIY in a 10-minute match for the WWE World Tag Team titles. Go ahead.
And like we said last week, what did we say? Ciampa's is a great heel. We want to see it happen.
Yeah.
And we had a hint of Ciampa turning heel.
Very nice. Yep. I thought it was a good match. The truth-crushing finale, combining the skull-crushing finale and the whatever R-Truth's finisher is.
R-Truth is just a freaking is a national treasure. So everything he does is a 5-star to me.
Well, I'm glad that R-Truth has one more title run. I hate that WWE constantly make tag teams out of single competitors and then craps on the established tag teams.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea, but so let's see what happens. Considering, Cross, you kind of hinted at this a few weeks back in our first episode. Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell already made the heel turn. Could this be the reformation of The Way?
The Way. That would be dope.
Ciampa already kind of showing those signs. It could happen. Next, we had the return of the Ring General. Gunther makes his return to Raw, graciously accepting his defeat by Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 40, but vowed to hunt any title he pleases. And he's going to start with the King of the Ring.
Dun, dun, dun.
He said, for 666 days, I elevated the Intercontinental Championship to levels it's never seen before, and in the process became the greatest champion in its illustrious history. Agree or disagree?
Completely agree.
Agreed.
down.
I mean,
Hands down.
let's not kid ourselves. He's no honky tonk man, but he did a good job.
So you guys agree? So you guys think that Gunther is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time?
One of the greatest.
I would say one of the greatest in our current time. I would say probably in the last 15 years. Yes.
For that era, yes, he was the greatest.
Okay, I would agree that for this new era, he's what Roman Reigns was to the Universal Championship.
Yes.
Yeah, he can keep the Universal Championship. I don't like that belt anyway.
I just wanted to see that. I just wanted to see the reaction on Mike Gambino's face when I said that.
Check YouTube for the reaction of that Roman Reigns' name.
I'm just waiting for Gunther to reintroduce the European Championship.
Oh, there it is. So Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston interrupt the proceedings. You know, Xavier Woods is the
Last King of the Ring.
He is the reigning King of the Ring right now. They have a little bit of back and forth, and obviously it leads to a tag team match. Funny line where Woods says, "No, we fought them so much already." When they make the match, they have had multiple matches between these two tag teams.
They have.
I guess that's what happens when you've been a tag team for 13 years, 14 years. Yeah. How long have the new Day?
But Imperium hasn't though, and but it seems like they're always anyway. Imperium takes the L.
Dude, again, they must have fought in the past year about 10 times.
Probably 10 times, yeah, and that's not even counting house shows.
Exactly.
Kaiser lays out Vinci on a unexpected betrayal there.
It was expected.
Punishes longtime partner for the loss and essentially set in motion the wheels for maybe a singles push as Gunther's right-hand man for Kaiser. I think Kaiser's pretty good on the mic. What say you about Kaiser maybe going on a little singles run here for himself?
Overdue.
I mean, he's dating Tiffany Stratton, so you gotta be doing something right.
Is that right? I didn't know that. Well, the New Day defeat Imperium, 9 minutes, 26 seconds. And moving right along, right after that, we had a Drew McIntyre promo. Drew McIntyre comes out, addresses the WWE Universe, and is interrupted by "It's a shame the Danes had lost a hand.
It sounds like you're trying to say they took your job.
Mr. Sheamus, the
Irish,
the Celtic Warrior interrupts the Scottish Warrior. Lots of warriors in the ring at this point.
But none of them are ultimate.
I think the best line that has been said of 2024, banger after banger. Well, it looks like, Sheamus, you've been having burger after burger.
Damn, the fat jokes.
I'm just glad that someone on TV pointed it out.
And then, of course,
Sheamus, man.
And then Drew dropping that he won the Intercontinental Championship in his first shot at it, while the Celtic Warrior has had to wait 15 years and still has not won the Intercontinental Championship. So again, another IC title tease for Sheamus. I feel like that's what's coming eventually. Maybe SummerSlam might be too soon, but I feel like Sheamus is going to get one more IC title run. I did see video of Sheamus
first title run.
Working out.
His last title run.
He took the insult to heart.
Yeah, I saw. Did you see the training video of him working out? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, backstage, Bronson Reed inserting himself into the IC picture as well. This is the IC title. I'm telling you guys, it's being hunted by many a mid-carder. And Bronson Reed is just another one.
They're bringing the prestige back to that title.
That's right. So Bronson Reed assaults Sami Zayn. And who knows? Maybe some type of Bronson Reed team up with Chad Gable. Sami Zayn team up with Sheamus. And or maybe a fatal four-way.
One thing that's upsetting me right now with Bronson Reed is they're giving him the Goldberg effect. All of his matches are
squash. Well, that's what they're doing with Braun Breaker over on SmackDown too.
Braun Breaker, my bad. My bad. I
Yeah.
mixed the two of them up.
Yeah, no, no.
Bronze here, bronze there. LeBron James. I'm all confused.
Oh, by the way, before that Bronson Reed attack, Sheamus Nakamura came out to the ring. Nakamura is now everybody's punching bag. He's everybody's. I don't know. Sheamus defeats Nakamura 11 minutes 21 seconds. Nakamura.
At least it wasn't a squash.
Is tallying up.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but it might as well have been tallying up the L's. And then we had what was my favorite promo of the night. Chad Gable comes out and cuts the ultimate heel promo, berating Maxine Dupree, Tozawa, labeling Otis as the biggest disappointment out of all of them, and then making them pledge their allegiance to him in his quest to get the IC title off of Sami Zayn. What did you guys think of this? I know you saw it because it was everywhere. What do you think of my man Chad Gable? Shorty G!
Shorty G.
Finally going full.
Going full heel.
Full heel, finally. I'm excited to see it, how it plays out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good storyline for Chad Gable.
Kurt Angle came out, said positive, had a positive review with it too, right? Could have sworn he tweeted something about it.
I don't know. I love it.
I wonder whatever happened to Kurt Angle's son. He just disappeared.
Oh boy. Next, we had a tag team match between Ricochet, Andrade versus JD McDonough, filling in for an injured Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Andrade and Ricochet pick up the dub. 11 minutes, 56 seconds.
I don't know what they're doing with Ricochet, though, right now, because, obviously we've seen...
He's the new speed champion.
Speed champion, yeah. So, what, is he going to also... does he have 2 storylines going right now? That's what it seems like.
He doesn't really have... He doesn't really have anything going on Raw.
He's just there to keep his shorty comfortable.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, well.
A couple nice spots in this match, but nothing really crazy to talk about. Last but not least, we had the Battle Royal for the Women's World Championship. Guys, we had a lot of names in this Battle Royal, but stacking these names next to each other, I really would say that it was kind of predictable that it was either going to be Becky or Liv. Let's take a look at these competitors here. Well, you did have Nia Jackson there, but you had Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, Maxine Dupree, Ivy Nile, Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Nia Jax, Natalia, Liv Morgan, and Becky Lynch.
So I think Becky was the safe bet because Becky she's easy to plug and play, right? They had to remove Rhea, and she's an easy player to just plug into that spot to continue with whatever story they were gonna go. So in the meantime, I know a lot of people are mad. They were like, "Yo, it's a perfect opportunity to give someone new a chance to be champ."
They could have gave it to Liv.
They could have, but then what?
It would have continued the storyline.
But then who does Liv?
She took out Rhea. She took out Rhea Ripley. Then she took Rhea's belt, and then she could have hired a bodyguard to watch her back so she could continue holding on to the belt till Rhea came back.
But the story right now is Liv working her way to get the belt. So if she just got the belt from that, it's then they had to hit this. I don't know.
So here's what I think. If you remember last week, right? We were like, oh, Becky was supposed to be taking some time off, right? So I think this whole Rhea thing happened out of nowhere. So they had to do something. They're scrambling, right?
True.
So my idea for the storyline was Becky wins the title somehow, and now Liv is gonna attack her and injure her too, and she's gonna have to drop the belt, and then Liv is gonna come out and be like, "I don't care who you put the belt on, I'm taking them out until that belt is mine."
The new legend killer.
You know what I mean? Something like that. If they can work it like that, because I was really under the impression that Becky was gonna take some time off.
She was supposed to be promoting her book.
Right. So, and especially now that Seth is definitely hurt. Seth is definitely
wearing it, yeah.
Yeah, Seth definitely has to have surgery or had surgery already, so I don't know. So overall, guys, the Battle Royal Royale lasted 21 minutes and 46 seconds. It looks like they're stealing more ideas from TCR.
100%.
Battle Royal for the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, you can't. Triple H, I know you're watching. Like,
He's
really, man?
watching.
Like,
He's
we know that we
watching.
said you could copy off the test, but you have to make it at least a little bit different so that
I
people
did see
don't
something.
notice.
I did see an interview with Paul Heyman recently, and Paul Heyman said Vince McMahon at the time used to like. We would not pay attention to his, competitors, but then like if people were making enough ruckus about it, he would then say, "Give me a 10-minute, like tell me what they're doing in 10 minutes, and then let's make it our own." So I think maybe
That's what Triple H is doing. Yeah, I feel you.
Probably.
I feel you.
That's why you're under their thumb.
Yeah, that's true. That's why
right.
I get copyrighted every week for something.
Yep.
So, guys, I'm gonna give this episode of Raw a B-. I think this was the first episode of Raw which things felt like they were kind of in a holding pattern. We're kind of just waiting till Backlash or waiting until, I don't know, something else emerges. I think the best development, Chad Gable, obviously Becky Lynch being crowned the new champ. And I think ahead of the draft, it was a good show. I give it a B-.
I'm going C+. I'm gonna go a little bit worse, just because it seemed until we start talking about everything that went down, other than like the Chad Gable and the whole Imperium thing, it was like a blur to me the entire night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree. It was a C+ performance. Raw was kind of boring this week.
I did
It's
like.
back
It had good moments, but it's 2 weeks out after WrestleMania, and the quality is going to decline.
I think everybody's a little hungover. Absolutely.
Yeah, especially after that epic.
Plus, Cody isn't on the show anymore, so it's like, why do I even watch it?
Right.
True.
Well, now that's up to Damian Priest to
Pick up that baton.
pick that up.
I mean, I'm always going to support my brethren, but still.
Oh, sure,
Cody,
because
Cody.
he's just gonna hand it off to Jay. So let's until we
Yeah.
meet again.
He's got a
Raw.
2% chance. A 2% chance. Remember what you said last week? A 2% chance.
Jay is not winning no belt.
Ay.
Yet.
Well,
No.
that was our coverage of Raw this week, everybody. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to jump into AEW Dynamite. I know it's Dynamite. Don't get on me. I know I said Dynasty a bunch of times last week. I heard the podcast back.
Well, the pay-per-view was Dynasty.
I know, but I was saying when we were reviewing
Dynasty
Dynamite,
Dynamite?
I was saying Dynamite. I was saying Dynasty as Dynamite.
That's how much we focus on AEW.
We love our AEW here, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. We'll be right back with AEW Dynamite. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Inside the 20x20. Guys, we just saw last Friday the 2024 draft for WWE kick off on Friday Night Smackdown, live from Cincinnati, Ohio, the Heritage Bank Center. 12,724 in attendance for
Nice.
Friday Night Smackdown.
3,000 more than Raw that week,
Yeah.
roughly. Roughly.
It might have been due to the size of the building that they held Raw in.
Sure, 'cause they were
I don't
both
think
sold
the
out.
Building was big. Yeah, I don't think that one.
Yeah, it was both sold out.
So big happenings going on SmackDown. Before we got into any real action or draft picks, Paul Heyman announces that Roman Reigns removes himself from the draft, seeing as he will not be back anytime in the immediate future. Back in the arena, in the ring, we had Corey Graves overseeing the contract signing between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles for their match at Backlash. Styles speaks about how he and Rhodes are about to mix it up for the first time. Surprised these guys have never actually wrestled before.
Right? Yeah.
Also said he was annoyed by LA Knight, but now he's back to normal. Says he even respects Rhodes because they followed similar paths. The phenomenal
Two Georgia boys.
one
So-
says he learned a lot from Dusty about how to be a champion. Rhodes says everyone respects Styles, but that goes out the door at Backlash because he has to win. They shake hands, and the segment, surprisingly, ends peacefully. What say you?
So, I feel like AJ had a perfect alley-oop mid-promo, but didn't dunk it. Like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he set it up in such a way where, you know, it was like it was just perfect. It was just a perfect moment for him, but like it just ended in like adult. It just ended like stale on my end, from in my thoughts at least. But I think it could have been. It could have been a better promo. Could have been a better segment. And plus, contract signings. It's 2024. Like, what's the use of a contract signing anymore? I know it's
Yeah.
just like a segment, but like, it's fun, right? I guess it's just for fun.
Usually it ends in violence.
Yes,
Right. When was the
usually
last
it
time you
does.
saw a contract signing don't end in violence?
Right.
That's true.
That's why it was weird. I was like, all right, well, is AJ gonna throw a punch here? Because what's gonna happen? And when it
Give
didn't
me-
happen, it was kind of like, huh?
Give me like a weigh-in where they could just like smack each other around a little bit and talk smack to one another. Like then,
Why do you need a weigh-in?
I think
no,
that
why do we need a contract signing?
yeah. Why do we need a press conference after the pay-per-views?
Yeah.
Just to give them a chance to talk before they fly to France.
I think that AJ Styles promos are the weakest part of his game,
He could be
so
better.
to speak. Then Triple H comes out, asks Cody, help me out with these draft picks. The first picks of the draft are revealed.
I'm gonna just cut you off for a second there with that. I'm loving the fact that they don't cut the camera much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's a consecutive stream. So like you see Cody's walking out, it's one camera, and then it's that very camera that picks up Triple H saying, "Hey, let's do the draft right now."
Yeah, I think they're trying
I'm
to
loving the
follow.
cameraman.
They're trying to follow the production techniques of an actual sporting event.
They're doing a really good job with it.
Yeah. So
Even
Smack,
because later on in the night, it
yeah,
gets better. But
yeah. So Triple H comes out. The first draft picks for each brand are revealed. SmackDown picks up Bianca Belair and Carmelo Hayes.
already,
And Raw
yeah.
drafts Jey Uso and Seth Rollins.
One of the things that pisses me off, and it's going to come up a lot, is that with this draft so far, there's been no changes.
I
Yeah.
wanted to say it, but I knew you were going to. Yeah, there's memes everywhere right now about it. Why have a draft if they're just gonna stay on the same what's it called, right? Like, but I do get, because we'll talk about it in a second when Solo confronts Heyman. I kind of get what they're trying. I guess to further the bloodline story, maybe they're doing.
Well, I thought it was weird that it was like, all right, well, we're drafting the entire bloodline. All right, and then they drafted the entire Alpha Academy. And they drafted the entire Judgment Day. It's like,
See, but that's the problem. That's the problem. They always change it up. One year it's, tag teams can be broken up. The next year, tag teams are drafted together.
Right.
Then champions are safe, and then champions can be traded.
Wait, and some champions are safe this time around. Not all champions.
All champions are safe.
I saw that except the women's tag team champions.
Well, no, because there's only one belt.
right,
Oh,
there's no, it's not,
true.
there's no two.
Not split
There's
up.
only one
women's
belt.
team,
I'm
yeah.
sure it's not split up. You're right.
So Carmelo Hayes comes out, says he wants a shot at Cody Rhodes. American Nightmare. He's a fighting champion. He's not going to turn that down. Accepts the match. We come back from break, and Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio are teaming up to take on Angel and Berto. Yeah.
I'm tired of people turning on Ray already.
Well, but listen, the LWO picks up the win in a 5-minute match, and then Carlito
turns on the LWO.
gets exposed and turns on them again. I guess
We knew that was happening. We saw the animosity when he picked Dragon Lee over Carlito for the match at WrestleMania.
We saw the apple on the tree.
I guess we'll see what happens with there. Then we had Goldberg come out. I mean, Braun Breaker come out and destroy Cedric Alexander.
Not Bronson Reed.
In 30
Braun
seconds. Not much to say here. Hits a spear, wins, and that was it.
When was the last time we saw Cedric Alexander on TV?
I don't know, but that was a bad way to bring him
last
back.
week.
I saw him. I was
Last
like,
week?
oh. And then it's like, oh, was it last week?
Then we see
Yeah.
Michelle McCool and Tori Wilson come out of the respective Raw and SmackDown locker rooms. Tori Wilson still looking
Tori.
good.
Yes, I get so excited I saw her on TV.
SmackDown
was
draft.
like, what?
Yeah, I know, right? SmackDown drafts Randy Orton and Nia Jax, and Raw drafts Braun Breaker and Liv Morgan. So Raw getting Braun Breaker is a change because he was originally signed to SmackDown. So there you go.
Neither Goldberg.
Then we had a Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga shown arriving backstage, speaking with Paul Heyman. Kevin Owens attacks them from behind to send us into a break. Then we come back. Bianca's giving an interview when Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Jade Cargill show up. And it looks like this is going to be the match for the women's tag titles at Backlash. I see.
It looks like Jade's going to be a new tag team.
Yeah, I see Jade and Bianca picking that up. Unless, for whatever reason, Jade and Bianca can't get on the same page, and then that's the start of their singles program. Wouldn't mind seeing that either, but I don't think Jade is ready for a singles run just yet. KO and Tonga end up brawling into the arena. Sikoa again. They get the upper hand on Orton, but then I hear voices in my head. And Randy Orton, the Viper,
so good.
comes out to even the odds, and then guess what they do in the ring?
They hug.
They stand tall.
They stand tall. We haven't referenced that yet.
They stand. We waited until we were an hour into the podcast to say stand tall first. So they stand tall in the ring. That looks like that's going to be a tag team match, most likely next week, maybe as a main event.
Yeah,
and that's probably going to be.
It's at Backlash.
Is it going to be at Backlash? Beautiful.
At Backlash. It's the only non-title match at Backlash right now.
All right. Well, we'll see where that turns out and what happens. And then we had Devon and Bubba Ray come out to announce the draft picks. SmackDown gets...
Shout out to Bubba Ray, because I have the exact same jacket he was wearing. Spiffy looking guy. Now I know I could wear it with jeans, because it looked pretty good.
There you go. Fashion tips from Bubba Ray. SmackDown drafts LA Knight, and they draft the Bloodline, which includes Paul Heyman. Raw gets Ricochet, and Raw gets Sheamus. So no change there. Next match.
No changes.
Next match saw Naomi take on It's Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton, my new favorite women's wrestler. With Bayley Singh.
Naomi's entrance, amazing. Just want to throw that out there.
Always
amazing.
Been one of the coolest.
Always one of the best entrances. And now with the new camera angles and everything, it's even better now with the high def cameras.
Yeah. Pretty good match. Ends in a no contest and non-finish with Nia Jax attacking Bayley from the crowd. Then Naomi trying to help her before she was driven into the ring post, causing the ref to call off the match. And then JBL and Teddy Long come out to announce the next picks.
Playa.
I thought he was going to say SmackDown drafts The Undertaker.
He was so good and on point, though, the entire night. Because later on, they actually showed him again. And he is... Teddy Long, come back for another stint.
Teddy, we need you, Teddy. We need you, Teddy, in the new era. SmackDown drafts AJ Styles and Andrade. Raw gets, or I should say keeps, the Alpha Academy. And a surprise pick from NXT, Kiana James, getting the call up. So my guess is we'll see Kiana James on Raw this week. Let's hope let's see who they feed her to, or who she gets fed.
Nah, I don't think they're gonna feed it to anybody.
I mean, let's see who they feed to her, I should say.
Flair comes back.
And then we see
Kiana James is very good.
And then our main event of the evening, Cody Rhodes versus Carmelo Hayes in, I would say, a 4.5-star match.
Good match.
Great match. Great selling from Cody.
Yup.
Because I really legit thought he was hurt during some parts of those matches. So
yeah, and honestly, I think we're going to see this a lot from Cody. Is he's not selfish. He is gonna push these superstars, like Carmelo Hayes, for perfect example, comes through, They wrestle a great match. In the beginning, he toyed with him. In the beginning, he was like, "Yo, I'm the bigger man. I'm the champ. I'll smack you around a little bit." He played with him, but then he showed him that he had some strengths, and it played through to show that Carmelo Hayes is a really good competitor, and I think it established him for SmackDown.
I think
Melo don't miss.
I think he's definitely a star in the making. Gave us a great performance. I think WWE needs to make sure that they follow up with that now, and they don't let him just get dropped back into the mid card after that match. I think he's one of those talents that could be a top star if Triple H plays his cards right. I would give
that's one of Triple H's projects.
Yeah. So I would say great SmackDown overall. The surprise, the surprise general managers or whatever you want to call them, representatives of each brand.
I can't wait till tomorrow.
Really great. Let's see what happens on Monday Night Raw. Who comes out?
There were still some more draft picks after SmackDown went off the air.
Why don't you read them off to us, bud?
So you have Cedric Alexander and Tahuti Miles being drafted to SmackDown.
Okay.
Alba Fire and Isla Dawn going to Raw.
Nice.
Baron Corbin coming back to SmackDown from NXT.
Oh, interesting. All right, I didn't know that one.
Ivar being drafted to Raw. The OC are staying on SmackDown. And Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark are staying on Raw.
There you go.
Nice.
So, a couple moves there after the show went off the air. Overall, I'd give SmackDown a B+.
Yeah, same.
I can't wait for Monday Night Raw to see as the WWE draft continues this week on Monday Night Raw.
I hope they change it up somehow.
I hope we see Mick Foley. He should be coming out. Commissioner Foley, come on!
Let's see. And just as an FYI, there were some dark matches after SmackDown went off the air. Sheamus defeated Chad Gable in a dark match. And the Awesome Truth defeated Finn Balor and JD McDonough in a World Tag Team title match.
Yo,
dark match.
Poor Finn, bro.
Yeah. So that was Friday Night SmackDown, guys. That was all of the action from all of your wrestling this week. We'll be right back with some final thoughts. Stick around. A little bit more of Inside the 2020 coming up right after these short messages.